All right, so let's talk about this Playboi Carti album. So as you all know, Playboi Carti just dropped his highly anticipated album, I Am Music, and he had everybody waiting up all night to listen to it. It was supposed to come out at 12 a.m., didn't come out at 12. It was supposed to come out at 3 a.m. It didn't come out at 3 a.m. Ended up coming out at like 8, 9. Either way, it came out in 30 tracks deep. I ain't got time to be listening to 30 tracks. So it took me a minute to actually sit down, listen to it, digest it, actually hear what was going on, and I had to listen to it a couple of times. Like, I think right now I'm probably on my fifth listen of just going through it. And today I just want to point out some of the tracks that I like, that I enjoyed, that I think are some absolute standouts, and what I overall think of Playboi Carti at this moment in his career. I give this album an 8 out of 10. And the reason I give it an 8 out of 10 is just simply because it's just so many records. I understand now with streaming and how they have everything set up. The more songs that you have on a project, they usually more streams, more money, and it's better for the artist's pockets, right? Because you got more songs streaming. But for casual listeners, people that just kind of show up just to hear the album, it's a little long-winded, especially when you have 30 tracks to get through. But I do understand the whole playlist vibe. Like, even myself, I added about 23 out of the 30 songs, which is not bad, but I treat it like a playlist somewhat. You know what I mean? Not like a body of work. I would say something like Hurry Up Tomorrow by the Weekend is what I would consider a cohesive body of work because there's a theme. With this, I feel like there's more of a just a sound and evolution in Cardi sound, more so than an album that's themed out. Now, the one place that I can say he's drawing inspiration or he's carrying somewhat of a theme is this Atlanta aesthetic or this Atlanta sound that he's bringing back from the 2010s or the 2008, 2009, 2010. He has a lot of production on here that has a lot of high snares, a lot of quick snares going on, a lot of stuff that you would hear back then on maybe like a Waka song. It would have those horns in the background and those rises. I'm talking about it because it's funny because back when I was producing a lot, I would use a lot of those sounds out of Nexus and a lot of sound kits. So it was refreshing to hear that. But even from the pictures that Cardi took leading up to this album with the throwback jerseys, the Averest jackets, he was really trying to recapture that era. And I honestly feel like he made this project for Atlanta, for where he's from. And being from the South Side myself, shout out to the South Side, Riverdale, Saturday. You feel me? Him really putting on for the city. I feel like he really got that theme across when presenting this project. Now, is this project like Whole Lot of Red? No. Now, when it starts off, it kind of feels like it's transitioning from Whole Lot of Red, and it's kind of like the first half of this project. It's almost like he's leaving that Whole Lot of Red era and he's getting back into his using his original voice era. Because from the record I Rather Lie, from that record on down, Cardi is really in his bag. It really reminds you of like the vintage old Cardi where he's using his real voice. And even on the song like Rather Lie, where he's being more melodic, he's using his real voice. I really wish he would start doing that more because from that on, the project was really, I gotta say, flawless. It's where I added most of the tracks from the album. Now, when I try to explain Cardi's music to people who really don't listen to Cardi, the way I explain his music is it's more feeling than lyrics. It's hip hop. We all use lyrics to convey a message. We all use lyrics to express ourselves. But I feel like with Cardi's music, it's more about feeling. It's more about, I know people say it a lot, but it's more about the vibe. Cardi has mastered this thing to where he says a lot without saying much at all. From his famous Sia ad libs, or when he's just saying a word over and over using this kind of chanting sound to where it gets stuck in your head and you're just kind of like, oh man, that's catchy. But it's different vocal inflections in the way that he says things, the way that it gets stuck in your subconscious to the point you'll turn the song off, you'll go about your day, and then you'll end up saying Sia random parts throughout the day just because. Now, I don't know if he's using some type of method or some type of tactic in his music to make it so catchy. But what I do notice is that over these last two projects, he has mastered the art of saying a lot without saying nothing at all. Another thing that I like about I Am Music is his ability to jump between different voices and different flows, keeping it exciting. With the addition of Kendrick Lamar on the project to kind of be there to be his 1-2, it was cool seeing him go back and forth on Good Credit, or just to hear Kendrick Lamar in the background of a song like Mojo Jojo just doing the ad libs. It was very refreshing to hear that because what you have is two polar different artists, but apparently they're like, he said that's his evil twin, but you have these two artists who are two different sides of the spectrum, but they mesh so well together. I thought that was real cool. But enough of that. I know y'all want to hear what I thought about the songs on the project, so I'm gonna let y'all know some of my favorite standouts. I like the beat on Pop Out. I like how energetic it sound. I like how unmixed it sound. Of course, Kanye going through his stuff right now, but you can clearly see the Yeezus influence. Like Yeezus was a very influential album. And with a song like Pop Out, I really would want to see that live because I know it's probably crazy. But yeah, another song where Cardi, he don't say much, but it's all about the energy. From there, you have standouts like Evil Jordan. You've heard that before. Mojo Jojo. But then from there, you have a record like Rather Lie with him in The Weeknd now. The Weeknd is on a crazy run right now. He just dropped an amazing album, Hurry Up Tomorrow. And him and Cardi seem to have this symbiotic relationship where they work very well in the studio together. The one thing that I really do like about Rather Lie is that Cardi is actually rapping on this song. Not only is he rapping, but he's being very melodic. Maybe on the next Cardi project, we can get more of this Cardi to where he's like being melodic and he's actually rapping. I know a lot of people probably feel like he really don't know how to rap or whatever, but dude really know how to rap. But I really hope his next project leans more into who he was on this record right here because I thought it was very cool. But yeah, the next standout track is Backdoor featuring, of course, Kendrick Lamar. Backdoor has to be the cousin to Luther because it sounds like it don't sound the same, but it has that same vibe. And to hear a song like this on a Cardi project was very refreshing. Even those three just back to back, you have a record like Rather Lie, Fine, and Backdoor. This trifecta just right here back to back is amazing. I love it. Now you get into records like Good Credit, of course, with Kendrick Lamar, another standout banger. You have a record like Trim with Future. I feel like Future did not come to play on this project. Future showed up. He did exactly what he had to do. I feel like that was very dope. Olympian. I love Olympian. And the reason why I love Olympian because he shouted out the south side of Atlanta, man. Shout out the south side. He shouted out the hood. You don't really hear too many big rappers like that shout out the hood because it's a lot of famous people that come from the south side, but rarely do they shout out spots that's very specific like that. So I love Olympian. I'm a champion that record. And then of course the record like Wheezy with samples Rich Kids, Bend Over. Again, him and going back and bringing that sound back from the past and implementing it in his music. Now for those who don't know who the Rich Kids are, they're a rap group out of Atlanta. They've been doing music since we all were like teenagers. We all grew up on their music. I don't care what side of Atlanta you from. You was definitely listening to Rich Kids growing up at house parties or whatever. So to see him go back and pull a deep cut like that, because he could have sampled, you know what I'm saying? He could have sampled like one of the main Rich Kids songs, like What's Up? You know what I mean? But he went and pulled a deep cut like Bend Over. I felt like that was very dope. I felt like it was a very solid project. Is it his best? I gotta live with it a little bit more. I'll be honest with you. Whole Lot of Red still in rotation over here. And Whole Lot of Red had to grow on me because when I first heard a Whole Lot of Red, I didn't say I didn't like it, but I was like, dang, maybe I'm getting too old. Or like maybe I just don't get it. But after about a month listening to it, Whole Lot of Red grew on me. So right now I guess I'm still kind of in that Whole Lot of Red era. But I Am Music is a very, very, very solid project. I just hope in the future that as Cardi gets older and his sound evolves more, that he kind of, condenses it, not 30 songs, but maybe a cool 17. You know what I mean? Because even I chopped it down to 23 and I probably could have took off a couple more, but it's a couple of them records that I just like because of what's going on in them or the beat. But yeah, man, it's the Kid Reads. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all be safe, stay carefree, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.